I grew up in a town not too far from Syracuse, Oneonta, and it was commonly referred to as Stoniata because of the prevalence of marijuana. And I got into marijuana probably early high school, maybe eighth or ninth grade. And so as soon as I started smoking and enjoying marijuana, I also pretty shortly after started selling it. And that continued through high school into college a little bit. And I did pretty well at it. Eventually, I was able to get probation, but before my parents were able to put together some money for a lawyer, I had a public defender. And the first day I went to court, the morning after I was arrested, he never asked me anything about what happened. There was some stuff found in my car. There was another person in the car. He never thought about, well, maybe we could defend this. Maybe we could, cast reasonable doubt. Instead, he said, we might be able to get you like 6 months in jail. And from that moment on, I hated public defenders. And I also felt that there's got to be a change in the way that the criminal system treats people who are accused of possessing marijuana. It got me obsessed with justice and trying to help other people to prevent them from following in the footsteps of almost ending up in prison. I got my GED, went to college, went to law school with the sole purpose of being a defense attorney. And so I've done that for the past 12 or so years. It's been great. I've really felt like I've had an impact on a lot of people's lives. I've enjoyed it. But now when this opportunity came up in New York State, I felt like it was my calling. I just remember when I found out that I was approved for a license, I was elated. I was just so excited. It kind of felt like a dream. But the process itself wasn't really easy. I mean, I applied, I did it on my own. So I put together all the stuff that you have to put together, and it's a lot. So you have to do a first sort of application, get provisionally approved. So it took several months before I got approval. And then from there was another set of another sort of application process that you had to get approval for before you could actually open the doors. And it was so onerous that even though I'm a lawyer, I had to hire a lawyer to help me through the legal process. For people that had the conditional license, the card program, there was an option to finance through the state. So the state would provide these sort of build out funds, and then you pay it back over time. So I opted to do that. So I love the fact that they had done this card program, opened it up to people like me who had been unfairly criminalized. I have a criminal record to this day, and that's not fair. So I like the fact that New York State is trying to make things right.
New York State is tough in the cannabis industry. You know, we have a higher tax than everybody else. So you get that little bit of sticker shock when you go to pay, and you get that 13% tax. But also, I think it's going to ease back a little bit the more people push the envelope. But definitely the advertising angle needs to change. We have tried to get billboards, and you can't be anywhere near a church or a school. And that's a 1,000-foot rule. Now you have to be careful with the colors that you use. You can't have caricatures, anything that's appealing to kids. Really, it just has to be more informative than anything else. It has to be very plain. It's our front entrance and our road signage. It's just Joe's Buds.
The banking has been tough because not a lot of banks are willing to work with cannabis dispensaries or other people in the cannabis world. And I think as long as marijuana remains federally illegal, that's going to be a problem. So a lot of the smaller local or regional banks have been the ones to step up. Even with that, there's extra regulations. It's not just like opening up an account like you would for a normal business. It's, several other forms and documents and things that you have to do, not only at the beginning, but also there's compliance requirements as you go. There's also additional fees that a lot of the banks charge, like monthly fees, because they say that this is sort of a risky business or a risky endeavor for them. As time goes by, I'm hoping that New York State has a more streamlined way to accommodate people who are in my position and people who want to get their licenses going forward.